Hi friends, welcome to this video and we are talking about terrorism in France. All of us know that recently there have been a spate of incidents there, and also Europe has been facing such incidents of late. So what exactly has been going on in Europe, and what is the way forward, or how the situation is going to develop? So we'll try and delve into a bit deeper into this issue of radicalization of Europe and especially France. And I'm going to talk about that in context of a very interesting book. It's called Terror in France, The Rise of Jihad in the West. The book was originally written in French by Gilles Kepel, and it is available in English now. And it's actually a sensational book, and it reveals the truth about a new wave of jihadism in Europe. So I'm going to quote certain excerpts from this book which will make you understand that what exactly has been going on in France and Europe. Uh, According to Giles, it all started with the new manifesto which was released by a Syrian Spaniard, Mustafa Satmariam Nassar, and his other name is Abu Musab al-Suri. So he published online the Global Economic Resistance Call in 2005. So that was one of the defining movements. And this Global Islamic Resistance Call is also known as Dawat al-Muqawama al-Islamiyya al-Alamiyya. So this is a 1600 page manifesto of that conceived terrorism in Europe way back in 2005. And I quote from Giles, this 1600 page manifesto conceived terrorism in Europe as the main vector of the battle against the West and identified the poorly integrated younger generations of Muslims as its preferred instrument. Now, the this manifesto, which was released in 2005, or the blueprint of the to bring terrorism in Europe. So it's little different from Al Qaeda's strategy. All of us know that Al Qaeda has been pretty active in Europe and US also, and so the difference between Al Qaeda's strategy and what Nassar said in his 1600 page manifesto. The earlier the Al Qaeda strategy was that it would send fidains, or it would send terrorists from the Middle Eastern countries to Europe and US, as we saw that happened in case of 9/11 also. But this manifesto strategy, this new global economic resistance call strategy, is to capitalize on the fault lines within the European societies, and ensure that the acts of terrorism are carried out not by outsiders but people from within. And that is what we have been witnessing in France, UK, and in several other countries in Europe. So I am quoting a paragraph from Giles, and that will help you understand it further. The riots, and he's talking about this 2005 riots in France, one of the worst riots. The riots were a rite of passage corresponding to the transition to a new age of French Islam, in which a generation born and brought up on French territory came to foreground and shook up the Islamic institutions that had been controlled by earlier generations whose members had migrated to France from the southern or eastern Mediterranean shores and West Africa. The phenomena occurred at very time when the international radical Islamic movement began its own mutation. Whereas Al Qaeda had a pyramidal structure with Osama bin Laden at the top and the United States as a target. As was shown on 9/11, the new approach was structured on a bottom-up, network-based model. It took Europe as its primary target and sought to recruit its soldiers among young Muslim Europeans. So there is another difference. Al Qaeda's target was USA, whereas the target of global Islamic resistance call and the current terrorist organizations which are targeting Europe. So their target is primary target is not US. Their primary target is Europe. This is what Giles says. And another important thing which he mentions is that the Al Qaeda structure was like a pyramid with Osama bin Laden at the top, and so it was kind of a linear communication which was coming from the top and going down to the bottom. But and it's more of a vertical kind of a thing. But as you look at the what is happening in France or Europe of late, so it is primarily a network based. So it is more of a horizontal kind of a structure. So the challenges are pretty, you can say, tough in front of Europe, and so far the things don't look so good. And we can probably these kind of incidents, it won't be easy to stop them. And they also show that the threat of radicalization, which was earlier ignored by Europe and US when it was happening in Indian subcontinent, when India was suffering from it, with a neighbor like Pakistan, which was trying to bleed India through thousands of cuts. So at that time, in the name of human rights, India did not get that much international support. But now Europe, first US realized it after 9/11, and now Europe must be realizing it, that how dangerous it was to not stand against the radicalization in the name of human rights. Thank you.